Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, star maker for entrepreneurs who want to unlock their potential, command any stage, and make blockbuster profits. Welcome to Thrive, the show where I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a brand that makes you happy and profitable. Here we go. Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, and welcome to this episode of Thrive, How to Reclaim Your Personal Power with my guest, Youre Peltzer. Youre Peltzer is the CEO of Be Inspired International, LLC, which is a personal development and transformational success company focused on women's success. And Youre is a perfect example of women's success. As a young person, she was living in the projects and found herself a mom at the age of 18 to 2 kids. She also was a victim of sexual abuse, and she was able to pull herself out of her situation to go on and become a top producing real estate broker doing over $22 million in sales. And now Youre uses her inspirational story and experience to help other women transform their lives. On this episode, Youre shares with us how important it is for us to figure out who we are at the core and how we can go about doing that, and why it's so important to remember that we all have an inner sparkle just like Youre, and that when we unleash it, wonderful things can happen. Youre also talks to us about when we don't feel like we have our sparkle, when we feel like life has beat us down, what we can do to get our mojo back on track. Youre is inspirational, and her energy is wicked contagious. I know you're going to love this episode. Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, and welcome to Thrive, where I bring you tips, people, and resources to help you create a brand that makes you happy and profitable. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. This show is 30 minutes of high value content coming to you from industry leaders who are growing their business, making an impact, and rocking their brands. And let me tell you, this next guest is totally rocking her brand. Youre Peltzer is the CEO of Be Inspired International, LLC, a national personal development and transformational success company designed for women's success. Youre is known in the marketplace as the woman success coach and inspirational speaker, aka Igniter, and you will see why in just a minute. Believe me, Youre is an American success story. She triumphed from the darkness of being a teen mom with 2 kids by the age of 18. Wow. Despite growing up poor in the projects, being raised by a single mom, having no father in the home, and being the victim of childhood sexual abuse, Youre became the extraordinary woman that she was meant to be. At the age of 30, she co-owned a top-producing real estate brokerage, selling over $22 million in real estate sales, and amassed $1 million over a 7-year period. That's amazing. Youre's success was on high peak when she became the first African-American woman in her city to sell her firm to a larger corporate real estate brand. And now Youre is retired from real estate sales and embarking on her passion to see and help other women emerge in their own power. Oh my goodness gracious, Youre, that is amazing, amazing, amazing. So I was just talking in the interim when we were waiting a little bit about personal branding, and you certainly have developed a very unique and powerful and inspirational personal brand. So tell us a little bit about how you made that transformation, because we're going to be talking about transformation and personal power, how you made that transformation from embodying the role of realtor, real estate brokerage, all of those things, which is a completely different industry, into personal development and helping other women find their mojo and their personal power as well.
Well, Heather, first I want to say that I'm so excited to be with you this morning. And ladies, thank you. And everyone out there across the country, I am so excited to have you. You're really in the right space at the right time. There are no accidents, and we are summoned to these moments where we get a chance to tap into our power. We get an opportunity to get that one nugget, that one strategy, that one thing that'll change our lives. So just to jump in about where I'm from, and Heather shared with you that I'm the girl. I'm the girl from the projects with two babies by 18. And I grew up poor. And from that story alone, that's from nothing. And so everything I've created has been from nothing. And, it's one of the parts of my book that's coming out, Heather, and ladies out there, ladies and gentlemen, actually, I see we have both joining us today. Mm-hmm. So from nothing is probably the opening. So when you Nothing, the O in nothing is the opportunity. It's the opportunity to see into the bigger portal of what's possible for you. So it starts with just what's possible, and everything is possible. Mm-hmm. Steve Jobs makes, his new movie that's coming out. Again, I saw the first one. Everything is possible to those who believe. So I started from nothing, and everything I've created has been from nothing. And I don't want you to think that from nothing means you don't have to have any revenue, any resources. But from nothing for me meant just that. So I don't know what your from nothing means. So from nothing, you have no alternative other than to be yourself, to be authentic, to be you. And you have to find out who you are. What is the thing that makes you sparkle, that makes your soul leap? And for me, coming from the real estate industry of 17 years, I had to blend the two together when I made a huge decision, Heather, to jump into the whole transformational success industry, helping women with all of me be her best, tap into her best, live out her best. So how did it bridge together? Well, I was always a Firebrand. You could probably see that.
I can see that.
My energy is contagious, even to me. And because of my life story, okay, so I want you to go back to your life story. So what I have my clients do is go back, because you got to go back to find out who you really were when you were born. I mean, from the time that you can remember it. If it's 5, your first memory, and you were always the one sightseeing, and when your mom and dad was driving, or your mom was driving the car, and you were always the one looking around, then you're adventurous. I mean, or you're attentive. Whatever the case may be, go back. So as I go back and went back and went back, I was always that person that didn't give up. That was the simile. Okay, Heather, that was the thing that was across the board for me, the core of my value. I didn't give up. So I always say, winners never quit. They just find a new way to get it done. So for me, I always remember not quitting. I had many reasons to quit. So when I came into the real estate market, I gave my energy to people who didn't think they could do it. And I said, you can do it. You can be the first in your family to own a home. So I was never selling homes. I was selling the dream.
That's
dream
great.
That you could.
Yeah. And what you just said is also such a great marketing thing, because I think that's a place where a lot of people get stuck, is they don't sell the dream. Right. They sell the challenge. They sell the process. They sell the work that it takes to get to the dream, instead of painting the dream, right? And you have to have that dream to keep that energy going, to keep your enthusiasm and your passion going when you are in the trenches, when you are working. So having a vision for what that can be, and having someone like you that can help people keep that vision in front of them, is so important.
And when you keep the vision in front, and the vision is for you, what is your vision? So we got to get crystal clear. I talk about clarity. So for me, I was clear. Okay, everyone, I was clear that I was here to do something bigger than just sell the home. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to sell homes, believe it or not. Just a little bit of understanding the process, reading contracts, and get your attorneys involved. But it does take a special person to help people see their dreams come true. So in order to get that, that's where your personal power comes in. What is it that you were called to do? What is it, the core value of you? What is the core? If we keep layering it down, I don't care if you go to sell garbage cans, it will be the same core value, which then creates your branding statement, which then creates your personal brand, who you are. That's how simple it really is. It's no tricks to it. And if you trick it, manipulate the process, then you turn out looking like bobblehead.
Right, because you're not authentic.
That's
right.
correct. And we
And
say
when
that
you're
authentic, but it's so real, Heather. We talk about this authentic thing, and we've heard it, and we heard it, and we heard it. But the meaning of it is go into the core. Where do you come from? What keeps showing up for you that is your sparkle? It shines. It makes you want to go out here and serve others and do it with all of you. What is it that's screaming you? And then we can shift it into a business.
So let me ask you something, because you are so, like you said, your energy is so contagious. And you said from the beginning that you weren't a quitter, and that was the thing that you always went back to. And that was your thing. That was your groove, that you were a fighter, right?
Yes. Yes.
But what about someone who doesn't feel that way? What about someone who's like, man, I don't know. I don't know what that is. And I have so many other voices in my head, because I find this with my clients a lot, that they have a lot of different interests, or they have an idea of something, but it's not gelled and they can't quite pull it together. And that's the process that we go through of really teasing those pieces out to make it one in alignment with who they are. But what do you tell people when it's like, I feel beat down, I don't have that sparkle, I don't feel like I'm sparkling today? How do you, and you're so courageous too, and I'm like you said, sometimes you're just born with certain things, that's your personality. So if someone is not exactly like you, how can they find that, and how can they dig and get that energy and that courage to move forward?
All right, let's start with this. Number one, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Marianne Williamson wrote it, and I think we've all heard it either by Nelson Mandela in one of his speeches, or if you watch the movie Achilles and the Bee. But that's our deepest fear. It's our light that we're most often afraid of. So I believe every one of us humans have the light. We got the sparkle. It's a matter of this. And as you stated, Heather, here's what happens. And this is how we do it. This is how we find it in you. Okay, y'all, you're listening. This is how we find it in you. First, we have to be raw and vulnerable enough to say, I can't find my sparkle. But you say it's in there, Lori. You say it's in there, Heather. So I'm going to trust that the Creator didn't miss me. No, he didn't miss you.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to trust you there. So we're going to help you. We're going to inspire you, because I believe before we can take action, we must first be inspired. We are humans. We need inspiration. Heather, I saw one of your pictures, and your inspiration was awesome. You were looking at you were reading a Master Kip book, Daily Love, and you had to do stuff by your table. Whatever that inspiration is, we gotta first get inspired before. Then we get clarified. We go through a clarity process. Clarity is not a bad word. It's not a curse word. It's not painful. It is so beautiful. It's so yummy. Because to be clear, everything that's been fogged, stuck, tight, feeling beat up, is all about confusion. And confusion brings fear. So we work on the clarity. And then lastly, we work on strategy. And here we go. That's how we do it.
That's awesome. And the saying, confused mind never buys.
That's
so
correct.
If you're not clear and you don't know how to communicate your message and you don't know how to articulate your value, your audience isn't going to see that or hear that either. So it starts with you, right?
It starts with you.
Right.
And you have it. Again, I just want to make that note, Heather. The Creator didn't miss you. It's just about us going in there, and Heather calls it your mojo. And going in there, going inside, within, okay? We can't find it externally yet. It's an internal job. And we are afraid of the word internal. We think we're going to have to show our kidneys, our liver and our spleen. We're not. We're simply going to have to do some heart work. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to connect the dots, because to build a powerful brand, mm-hmm. to build anything worth sharing with the world, you have to be sold out to it. You have to be in it to win it, because they can't feel the win unless you feel it. And you can't buy this. Okay, I want to make that note. You can't buy this. This is not for sale. This is an internal thing. And if you think you don't have it, and that's why you connect with people like Heather, and that's why you connect with people like myself, and we help you transform by simply inspiring you to clarify and strategize. And once we do that, we probably won't be able to control you. You might be running around butt naked.
If that's your brand, I don't judge. So one of the things that I picked up on that you said was, before you do anything, you have to be inspired. And I think that's so important to get in that space and that mindset of hope and possibility. And I was reading something, actually it was in that Maston Kipp book, and he was quoting Joseph Campbell, and they were talking about enlightenment, and Joseph Campbell said there are three components to it. It's truth, consciousness, and bliss. And Joseph Campbell said, at the end, I don't think I really know what truth is. And I don't think I really know what consciousness is, but I do know what bliss is. And I know that if you follow bliss, you will find truth and you will find consciousness. And I loved that. And awesome. I think that the branding process, it's funny because sometimes people come to me and they say, I'm not ready for you. I need to go figure it out. And then when I figure it out, I'll come work with you. And I always say the branding process is the process, because you are going towards that bliss. You are figuring out what lights you up. And I think that it's kind of like that hot and cold game you played when you were a kid. When it feels good, you're warm, then you move that way. And if it starts to feel like, you could have the best mentor in the world, and if they're telling you to do something that's not in alignment with your bliss, it's not right for you, right? So I loved what you said.
About connectivity.
Yeah.
Because I was going to talk about that. So you're right in there, Heather.
Well, take the floor, Dave.
No, it's just, I want to say the word connectivity.
Yep.
I mean, that's what that simply means. As Heather is giving it to you, you got to connect it. You got to connect in with it. And you got to be connected to it, because there will be those punches days. There will be those bang out days. There will be those days that you need to be rocking. He's one of my favorites. There will be those days when you absolutely want to quit because you don't believe that you're actually authentic. You have that little voice in your head telling you, you suck. You have that voice saying, you're not authentic. Really, you don't have anything to offer. Your brand is not that strong. But remember what brand is. This is your personal statement of who you are and what you bring. So the process that Heather is talking about, it is a beautiful unfolding awareness process. The more we become aware, right, Heather, of what we're here to do and how we're here to serve, I mean, it's better than sex. Or, well, my husband said, stop saying that. He's like, really, you let people say awesome. But seriously, it is the most euphoric feeling when you know why you're here.
I think that's a tweetable. Branding is better than sex.
Yes. And
that's
so
awesome.
When I'm tapping into my brand, I'm pretty much just in my power. Okay, your brand is about your power. So if you feel like you've lost your power, okay, if you feel like you've lost your power, it's okay to get support. To need something is disempowering. So I don't believe you need. I believe you desire. You want this. That's a whole different paradigm. So you don't need, you desire. And so think along those lines, because need pulls you into a different energy, and need says, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to get this right for my brand to sell, or I need to do it that way. No. You desire to bring out the best of you, because it symbolizes your personal power. And if your personal power has been taken for whatever reason, whether it's been a childhood trauma that's still hanging around with you, whether it be a current situation, use it. I say your mess is what you use. Your trash is what you use.
Yeah.
That's how you also build powerful brands.
Yeah. That's amazing. There were so many things that you just said that made I have goosebumps. I loved what you said, Lori, about the difference between needing and desiring. That because that need and we all get there because that's the mind, right? I mean, that's the mind and the ego that you get like and it's constricting. But when you desire something, and even that word, I love that word. It's a very sensual word. It has a physical feeling that is sensual and it turns you on and you think
Yeah.
about your desires and
Yeah.
it's forward moving. So, but one of the questions I have for you is you amaze me and you're such a brave person.
Thank
But
you.
what if, absolutely. And what if you're not brave? What if you're, a little bit meek and you're like, this sounds great, but I'm not, I'm not comfortable like with a megaphone and I'm not Lori, I'm not an opera singer. How do I have that courage to step out and, really take that leap of faith that people will respond if I am authentic and vulnerable? How do you help people with that?
Here's what was so interesting. I remember I was in a room with five girls and we all are women, but five girls at this women's entrepreneurs conference in Vegas once. And it was interesting how different we all were when we were up close and personal. Okay, we were up close and personal. It was different than being on social, typing away and getting to know each other from behind the scenes. But we got in a room together, and everyone was able to see each other's personal habits, even how we prayed at night or meditated. And it was Catholic in the room. It was non-denominational. It was me coming from Baptist to this or that. And I was like, okay, watch the Hail Marys in here tonight because I don't really know all about it. So help me out. So we got to know each other, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, what was interesting is there was one of the young women girls was with us. She is a West Coast girl, but she was a very much introvert. Okay, to be around me is to think that you're not high energy. And granted, you are. Every one of us have an energy. Every one of us have an energy. Your energy is needed. Whether that energy is a quiet storm, because we all, like me, we need quiet storms to help us settle down. I love the rain. I love when big storms come because it helps me get quiet. I had to practice learning how to get quiet. So if you have that quiet storm and you feel like you are very different, okay, you don't have all of the outward, huge, go at it, show up, go up, be there in the room, the bright colors, then you just be you. This is about being you. Be you. And you can become a better you. So if you don't feel that you have it, it's okay. You have it though, because you're comparing it to the wrong measure. Someone else, something else. You have to go and work on what's in there already. You can't put anything else in there. That's, remember, manipulative and that's not authentic. So we work with what you have. So if you have a quietness or you have a weird way of doing something, that's where your money is.
Say more about that. Say more about that, Lori, because I really want, my audience is and your audience is also about making money, right?
Right.
It's right.
Right.
So say more about that. That your weirdness is your money spot,
Correct.
right?
It is. It is. Your sweet
So
spot.
yeah, your sweet spot. So talk a little bit more about that because
Okay. So
it's making the jump from let's be authentic to let's use our authenticity to grow our businesses.
yes, awesome. Well,
Okay.
to make that very simple, this particular young woman in the room, she didn't feel like she fit in. So she actually ended up leaving and going back home, someplace in Cali, which was close to Vegas. And she went back, and I was kind of disappointed that she left. But she came up with an amazing excuse, and it was an amazing excuse. And I will tell you why I know she was uncomfortable. because she was in a room of people who were in their energy. Not necessarily we were all the same. We were just in our energy. And whatever that energy is, meaning whatever the core of you is, it shall come out of you. So Heather, to answer that question for you all about using this to make money is a simple thing because it too is an energy. So if you're just being you and you're giving you, there's somebody just like you looking for you, your weirdness, your solidarity, your whatever that looks like. If you're not like me, you shouldn't be. I can't be like Heather. Heather and I had a conversation not long ago, and Heather is, amazing. Like, she lives in Boston. I live in South Carolina. So we probably have different accents and we have different ways that we get to the end result, but we absolutely share one thing in common. We believe in what? Being our personal best, staying in our power that only the Creator gave. This thing is in you. This is not something, again, that you can buy. It's cultivated. It's cultivated, and you have to be courageous to cultivate it. You got to be courageous.
Yeah, you do have to be courageous. But one of the things that I think is so, first of all, don't you all just want to reach through and give Lori a hug right now? I do. I'm hugging the camera. I'm giving you a hug because that was just so awesome. And one of the things that I found, and I think that this is probably true for you, is that people, they need help. They need help with this. And someone like you to hold their hand and say, you can do this. You really can. When I was 6, maybe I was 5, I gave my first piano recital in church, and I knew my piece cold. It was like, maybe 4 bars long, and I'd practiced and practiced. And my piano teacher was the minister's wife. And I knew my song. I had practiced, and it came time to give my solo in church, and I sat down, and it was like that Roadrunner cartoon where the coyote, he sets it up, and he goes, dun, 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 dun. Right? It was over, and I couldn't get that one note. And my piano teacher, who was the minister's wife, came over. She put her arm around me and said, "Okay, let's start again." And that was it. That's all I needed. And then I played the whole song perfectly. And sometimes people, they need that. We're humans. We need that connection and that support and that inspiration. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Because let's consider it like this, and that's perfect, Heather, you used that. Okay. When was the last time you imagined yourself dead? I ask my clients to. Imagine you're dead. Imagine you're at the funeral. Mm-hmm. Let's do some visualization for just a moment. Visualization is part of what we also help you do. Am I right, Heather? Mm-hmm. And visualization, because remember I said we take you through a strategy. First, we inspire you to let you know we know this in there. We know you can do it. We know you can create whatever it is that you want to create. And number 2, we take you through clarity. Take you to a clarity path, a clear path. Clear paths actually fight away the fear. It takes away the fogginess. It builds the momentum inside you, because the clearer we are, the more we can create. Remember that. The clearer we are, the more we can create.
Oh, I love that.
Because focus is dead. Focus is a nasty word. Focus is like bad milk in your refrigerator that you accidentally drank.
So why? Talk a little bit more about that, because a lot of people talk about focus. So why is focus a bad word?
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the show. There's still more great content to come, but I wanted to take just a minute to talk to you about a new course I've created called Close Any Room. You may have noticed that all of my guests know how to speak about their businesses in a clear and compelling way. But that's something a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, and it's something you need to know how to do so you can convert your audience into more sales. And that's why I've created this course. It's a 6-week audio course to teach you how to craft a signature talk so that you can authentically give value and close more of your audience from the stage. In the class, you learn how to create a clear and compelling point of view, how to organize your content and give great value to your audience without giving away the farm, how to structure your talk so that it seamlessly closes your audience at the end without feeling salesy. And I also give you templates and instructions how to create marketing materials, a speaker sheet, and all kinds of sign-up sheets when you're giving your talks. And finally, what everybody's hot to know, I also give you tips and resources on how to find speaking gigs. It's an all-inclusive course so that you can start closing and selling more from the stage. And as my free gift to you for tuning into the podcast, I'm giving you my free webinar, also called Close Any Room, and you can listen to it at clearvoicebranding.com/close-any-room. And it will give you lots of tips and information to get you started on how to create that signature talk that sells. Okay, we're going to get back to the show now. There's still more great content to come. Thanks for joining me.
It's a bad word. It's disempowering. This is just Lori speaking, okay? This is just coming from Lori, okay? I've learned that the word like focus and balance, the ones we've heard for generation to generation, it's been used in so many negative, quote unquote, contexts. It's been passed down to us from school teachers, educators. They don't mean any harm. It just was passed down to them, passed down through our parents, passed down through our auntie, passed down to the man on the street, passed down from the librarian. It's been passed down. Focus, focus, focus. But you're saying, what does that mean? How do I do that with everything happening around me? But today, how can we focus when everything is screaming? For the first time I watched TV for 2 hours straight, I was like, oh my God, this took all of my clarity away.
Oh, for sure.
So we have all of these things screaming at us. Okay, let's just be open, fluid. So then how does focus fit in? The word focus has built a negative connotation. It has built a disempowering feeling. We can only go by feeling what we feel. Honor what you feel. What is your heart saying? That blood is in there for a reason. It's pumping for a reason. And so if you honor what you feel, and you trust what you feel, which has got to be retaught to a lot of people as well. I reteach this to women, to trust what you feel. Now, when you use the word clarity, how does that feel? Clarity. It feels fresh, doesn't it, Heather? It feels,
absolutely.
Yeah, it feels fresh. We may not know what the heck it means yet, but when you get to touching it, and unfolding it, it then gives light to who you are and what you're here to do and be. Simple, but you gotta say yes to it. You gotta say yes to it. So when we connect with ourselves, we're not dead anymore. So remember I said visualize with me that you're dead. And you're at your funeral. What's happening at that funeral? What's being said about you? What you wish could have been said about you? Visualize with me. You're at the funeral. Did they dress you in what you wanted to be dressed in? See, for me, they're going to have to do some really amazing things. And I won't go into mine right now.
I think you got this planned out.
I do. And guess what? To come into life, to leave this life, but not to leave this life afraid. Remember, it's your life that you're afraid of. So your brand is just a life source of who you are, not manipulated, not purchased by a brand specialist, but actually helped, like with Heather and myself, to transform and to help bring it out of you. Yeah. So imagine you're dead. So if you keep imagining you're dead this week, you will start to say, I'm ready to live. Okay, what's in me? I want to reconnect with me. That's what this is all about, personal branding. Just reconnecting with you so then you can connect with the marketplace. Other than that, it doesn't happen. I don't know how else it happens.
I loved what you just said. Connect with yourself so you reconnect with yourself so you can connect with the marketplace. And so that the marketplace can connect with you. No connection here, no connection here and here and here, right? The connection is here. You have to be plugged in here. And then it's like, what are those called? The outlet with the electrical, the prongs here and into the energy source. And then you start to get the results from it. I loved that.
See how it all starts feeling? It feels energetic when we talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We've heard the word energy a lot.
Yeah. And so one of the things I think about when I'm working with clients is that it's a release. It's not, I love what you said. You're not purchasing something from someone. They're helping you reclaim and release what is already there.
Already there.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is another real quick one. It's already there. It's just lodged in there somewhere, stuck. Mm-hmm. And we all got that. We all got another level of us, okay? So a lot of times my journey has been to help uber successful women, hardworking women. I'm already doing it, entrepreneur, and these ones, I'm already doing it, Lori. No, I didn't say you were stupid. And I just surely didn't say that you were not smart. You're super smart. It's just some more stuff lodged in there. Because see, we think if we go out and get the support, that it says something negative about us. It says something that doesn't feel quite right. Because that too has been a disempowering statement. So then we say no. We say no to ourselves so much. So then how can you build a brand if all you're saying is the word no? Branding and personal branding requires you to say yes, because yes opens you up. Yes reveals you. Yes says, I'm here.
And yes says, I value myself. I value myself, and then others will value you as well.
It's a reciprocation. Absolutely. Yeah. It happens so amazing, so magically. It really does.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I know that you have a really unique way of working with people. So tell us a little bit about how you work with people, and if people want to get in touch with you or learn more about your programs, or like what the first step would be. So talk us through that.
Okay, well, I'll make it very simple. I help women, entrepreneur women, and hardworking entrepreneur women. You've been working so hard at it, and hardworking professional women. I help you get inspired, clear, and I take you through a strategy to transform. And that transformation is basic. It's just a dramatic change. That could be in your business, that could be in your career, that could be in your life. So am I a life coach? No. Am I a business coach anymore? No, I am a transformational coach. And so as a success expert, we use what we call the success that leaves clues, that have left clues with us for years and centuries. I mean, it goes all the way back to Abraham Lincoln. He left clues. He left that you could actually be in a chaotic situation and actually tell a story and ease the situation. I know if you ever saw the Abraham Lincoln movie, he would always be telling stories. So I start my clients off with telling your story. If you've never told your story, or never touched your story, or don't even know you have a story, but you do.
Yeah.
You do have it. So it's just the very first thing we do. And we inspire. I inspire you through the whole process. I'm your cheerleader. I'm your advocate and your accountability partner. And that's how simple it is. And I'm here to help you feel safe. We're going to unlodge and get unstuck, so you can then go in there and figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. Okay, there's no magic wand. You'll start to get clarity. It'll start to come off, and all of these processes that we pull together are breakthrough tools, and they will get you to the finish line if you do not quit.
Love that.
And that's just the way it works. That's how transformation works.
And so how does someone get in touch with you?
Okay, so I'm in the process right now. You can go to LoriPeltzer.com and get connected with me. And that's www, of course, LoriPelzer.com.
Okay, I put it in the chat.
Okay, I'm in the process of rebranding.
Yeah.
Yay! And I am working with an amazing brand specialist And what's so awesome, you're going to love this, Heather.
Yeah.
She actually works for Master Kip.
Oh,
My
really?
branding specialist.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And
Well, so your brand is going to be really infused with love, right?
Yes, it is. It
Yeah.
is. It is
Yeah.
so powerful. And what's so amazing about this is the laws of attraction brought us together. I couldn't have found her in a million years just on my own. So when you're in your power will go out and speak for you in everything you want, every opportunity. I had to just throw that in.
Yeah.
I couldn't have found her in a million years, Heather. No work I could have found you in Boston.
Yeah.
But so remember, your power has more to do with how you show up in the world and how the world responds back to you. Meaning what is in it for them and what's in it for you.
That's right.
A beautiful, magical relationship. And everything you need and want is there. So you can visit my site right now, but it is just a very, a video of me and something else. But in just like a couple days from now, you'll be able to opt in to getting ready for my new site and see some of my new things that are on the way. And then the rest of it will launch at the end of October.
Sounds awesome. Well, that's great. And Lori, we're sort of coming to the end of our time now. So one of the questions that I always ask people, and I think it'd probably be a huge response from you, but what are you most grateful for?
I am most grateful for the fact that I did not die in poverty. I did not die teen mom, a statistic. I did not die in a place where I would have died and had a funeral and it would have been on my gravestone, a teen mom. And that'd been my legacy. I'm so grateful that the Creator gave me an opportunity to see the power inside of me and that I was able to use this power to change lives. I often get real teary sometimes and I get a little jacked up that I'm even on this call at this moment, at this time, because my life story says no. What the Creator said yes, because I was willing to allow the process of transformation to take place. So I'm big on transformation. I get it. It's the most beautiful unfolding. So I'm grateful for the whole process of transformation.
Oh, that is beautiful, Lori. Yeah, and I love what you said. You have to be willing to transform. You can stay where you are, and you can want the other thing, but you have to be willing to open up and transform. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am grateful for you. And I am also grateful that you are not a statistic and that your voice and your beautiful, powerful, passionate, inspired voice is here to share your message of hope and inspiration and prosperity and power and leadership. So I truly am grateful for that. And I am always happy to have people like Lori on the show who are inspirational industry leaders who are moving and shaking and rocking their brands. So thank you all so much for joining us. I typed in Lori's website on the chat, and for my gift for you for showing up is if you'd like to learn how to be a great speaker like Lori and show up on interviews, you can go to clearvoicebranding.com/close-any-room, and it's a free webinar to learn how to speak and sell from the stage. So I want to thank Lori again, and thank you all for being here. Until next time, here's to hitting all your high notes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Thrive. I loved having you here. I love having you as part of my community. And if you're enjoying the show, I would love it if you share it with your friends on Twitter, on Facebook, or wherever they're hanging out. I also want to let you know you can leave me feedback or comments. I love hearing from you. Just post those at heatherpoduska.com. You can also leave suggestions for topics that you'd like to know more about, or if there's someone you'd really like to see on the show, let me know that as well. Okay, until next time, here's to hitting all your high notes. Take care. Bye-bye.